Back to the Intel Extreme Masters from Dubai. That's a bit better. So, let's try that one again. Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters here in Dubai for the Global Challenge. We got it right that time. And it's going to be Virtus.Pro against Meet Your Makers. Of course, Virtus beat ATS 16-14. MYM beat ATS 16-14. You can't help but think that ATS are really unlucky this tournament.
Yeah, and I mentioned it, I mean, they shouldn't get discouraged by it. They should actually get encouraged by the good results they had. And I mean, they were close to beating two of the top teams in the world right now. And so all props for them for playing terrific Counter-Strike. Too bad they didn't go all the way, but I mean, they will come back strong, and for next tournament, I'll be sure of that.
Yeah, so we actually have all 10 players in the server here. We're just waiting for the restarts. Hopefully when the admin sees that we're ready, we'll get in there. I'm not sure if the knife round's already been done, but I'll give you a rundown of the teams. For Virtus, we have Lex, Zeus, Kane, Roman, and of course Edward, who is named as Shevchenko in this one. Obviously loving a bit of the football start. For MYM, we have the usual Neo, Luck, Taz, Cuban, and Lord. So you watched the MYM against ASC. I only saw a little bit down there. What happened? I mean, MYM were quite a way behind, but they managed to come back into it.
Both teams had problems at CT winning consecutive rounds, meaning that they never had enough money to buy gun rounds. And I mean, both teams did maybe 5-6 eco rounds during their CT half. And when you do that and you lose 3-4 weapon rounds, I mean, all of a sudden you are 4-11 behind or 12-3 or whatever the score was. I mean, that was a problem. Both teams had really problems winning 2-3 rounds in a row at CT. But I mean, that again, you can credit that to good terrorist play. Or you can say it was bad CT play. In the end, MYM won, and I guess everybody expected that. So no surprise there.
Yeah, we actually have on this screen here Fnatic versus A-List. Of course, A-List were the digital game world champions. The local team, if you like, that qualified in first place and took home 20,000 dirhams. And they actually started off quite nicely here against Fnatic. They took CT side on Nuke, won the pistol. But then, you know, yesterday we criticised them for not being able to hold that upper sight on Nuke. In fact, not even trying to hold that upper sight on Nuke. In the second round, Fnatic just did a 5-man rush straight into the upper sight with the Glocks.
With the Glocks.
And they managed to win the round. So we are actually going to be going live then here with Virtus.Pro and MYM. We are on the pistol round, so that knife round has been done. Of course, MYM then starting the stronger CT side. To start things off, Virtus are taking things very, very slowly here as they queue up in the lobby area. Let's take a look. Lex has actually pushed his way through. Zeus going to grab a frag there inside radio room, and the Russians are going to go charging down through ramp room and into that lower bomb site. They spot one there in the vents. That was Luck. He was shut down by Zeus. Taz going to bring the only reply so far this round from MYM, and a second there before being shut down with a grenade. And that will be pistol round to the Russians of Virtus.Pro. And of course, they're already through. They just want to take first place and beat MYM.
Yeah, I mean, this is the match for the group win. And as we discussed earlier, it is actually not that important anymore to see who is going to win the groups, because the 8 teams are coming out of the group play. There will be 8 great teams. So even if you get first play, you might end up playing against another top team. So, I mean, it's mostly for pride and honor and glory and whatever this game is for. But I mean, I guess for these guys, if they want the first, they want to win it just as badly as any other game. It's just the importance of it isn't as great maybe in this game as other games.
Neo going to take down Lex there through the window and onto that outer area. Kane going to grab one back with his Galil. Lovely grenade coming out from Cuban there into the outer shed. Edward going to come back with 2 of his own, and this should be an easy round. And it's looking that way for Virtus. They have lost 2, but now it's only Neo, the man that's idolized by so many young fans, that is going to go down inside of Hut, and that shall be 2-0 for the terrorist side of Virtus.Pro. So, of course, MYM can't afford to buy anything, still going to be saving here. So this should be another round, or should be another round, for MYM. Sorry, for Virtus.
Yeah, and that's correct. when the CTs lose pistol round, they often give up their two consecutive rounds because they need the money to buy weapons. And then in the 4th round, you get the first weapon round.
So Virtus making their way around. Roman actually inside of radio room right now. He's just done a bit of spraying through those walls. He's going to keep an eye on the ramp room, make sure no one tries to move through there. Could possibly see somewhat of an attack here onto that upper bomb site. Zeus just spraying through squeaky door to the top, to the left and the right, trying to catch anyone that's hiding out in there. Virtus are just waiting for that first pick, and actually MYM are down to 4 at the moment.
And that is bad.
And we are going to get game pending, so that is going to be a pause for that.
Because
that'll be at the end of this round, I'd imagine.
And I hope they fix his start money, because if he comes in with 800 after have saved 2 rounds, that's pretty huge, because he will have no money coming into the game. So I think they will put out some start money so he'll get enough money to buy next round.
Certainly, let's hope so. So we have lost Luck, and looking at Virtus at the moment, Zeus top fragging. And then we have Roman, Lex, and of course Edward, then Kane. And at the moment, it's really been all about Taz for MYM. He was the one on pistol round that managed to get 2 frags. I think he got another one in between there as well. But we are going to be paused here for a while. As you can see there, MYM just sat waiting for the restart to come in. And what do you think about the outcome of this game? Of course, they will take number 1, as you said. Maybe not so important on this one, just due to the fact that we have 8 of the top 10 G7 ranked teams here, so you're always going to get a difficult opponent. But yeah, it's all about the pride, right? You want to win the group. And
you want to win the group, you want to win the game. It's that easy. And if you don't want to win every game you play, I mean, then I don't think you have the desire or the will to play Counter-Strike at this level. So it's not that they're not going to try. I mean, just the importance of the game might not be the greatest.
So we continue to wait then for Virtus to get their for MYM to get their last player back in the game. And it looks like we have Tentpole just watching on there onto the. Actually, I think that's Zet. Oh, it is Tentpole watching onto the MYM game as well. I'm guessing the SK aren't really in the middle of their game. You can see Virtus right on the end there. MYM in between them. We actually are going to go back into this one as we're going to get Luck reconnecting at the end of this round. Of course, we are on HLTV, so that's why we can't see exactly what's going on until the end of this round there, as Edward, HLTV, just skips a couple of frags, and Edward manages to grab 2 of them. And of course, only Taz and Kuban remain. It is only a 4-man round for MYM after Luck did drop out of this one. Zeus spotting Taz. They are going to get this bomb explosion. Kuban actually just setting up on the outer, almost in T-spawn there, just waiting as the bomb goes off and sends it flying. And we are going to get back into it then. So Luck comes back into the game. And I mean, in this situation, what does the admin do? I mean, he's got to change the start money to...
Well, you calculate 1,400 to 9, 3,000 or something like that. And if you got kills, you got 300 for each kill you have.
So MYM then going to set up here. Of course, this will be their first buy round, an important round in this one. They are 3-0 behind after losing the pistol on this CT side. So let's take a peek at exactly what Virtus are doing. You can see they've slowed down a lot now. Now that they know that MYM can afford to buy, they are going to make sure they spray the right areas towards the top of the upper side into those rafters. Just try and, even if you take away 10 HP from your opponent, that can mean the difference basically between getting a kill and being killed yourself. So let's see how this one goes. Grenades going out here as well, as Virtus.Pro send 3 men towards the outer area. More smoke's going to go off the roof, and that's a well-practiced smoke grenade there off the roof. It bounces around, and a second one there. So
yeah, it bounces off, so it lands right in front of the window area.
These guys certainly practiced up on the grenades. So as they probably going to make their way around, Roman actually getting a headshot onto Lord. Now let me see where Roman is. He was on the roof, so that was through the wall. And that's one of the things about Nuke Executor. All the walls are just paper thin.
Yeah, it's all of it. You can spam so much on Nuke, and if you know all the good spam spots, you can get like 1-2 kills every round almost.
So here comes a big push then from Virtus. It's going to come this time inside of that ramp room. They look up into the ceiling to find Luck. And Luck couldn't do anything in that situation. And Virtus are going to go down into that site and get the bomb plant here as Kane shuts down Kuban as well. Taz going to go down. Let's try and get around to Neo, who is the last one remaining for the Poles. And we've seen Neo do some pretty special stuff, but 1-on-5 with the bomb down, not looking likely. And as I say that, he takes down 2, and he's probably going to go for this one. Neo, certainly a player that can pull off a huge clutch situation, but he only has 21 HP. Going to grab his 3rd kill here, and he is going to go for it as he heads down now into this lower bomb site. Let's take a look where Roman is. He's going to be through one of the glass. Lex going to come out here from the vents as well. Neo going to charge his way around. Of course, not going to be in time to grab the defuse on this. He's going to go hunting for those frags anyway, as the bomb does go off. And Neo will hold on to it. That was 3 kills in that round from Neo, and as soon as I said he'll never be able to do it, he gave us a glimmer of hope there with 3 kills.
He tried, but he only tried to like bait his teammate, bait his opponents to stay with the bomb and maybe die from the bomb and making the round as expensive as possible for Virtus.Pro. Because right now they need every kill to get back on the scoreboard.
4-0 then to the Russians. As again, we're going to see a push here on that upper side. In fact, actually, maybe the first push we've seen completely onto this upper side there as Kane gets the first frag for Virtus, and they go charging into this upper side. Lord and Neo going to work though, and that'll be bad there for Virtus, and Kuban going huge with 2 Deagle frags, Lord with the 3rd, and that is a round that realistically Virtus shouldn't be losing. And Deagles all the way for MYM, get them their first round on the board. And that will at least break a bit of momentum that Virtus are starting to build up.
They're always great to win eco rounds because your own economy got so good, and the team morale of the team who loses the eco gets also a bit affected. So I mean, winning eco rounds can change the whole game.
So MYM have some guns that they picked up from the last round. And Virtus, of course, still have a decent amount of money to still buy here as Edward goes for the jump onto the red cliff, doesn't quite manage it, but we are getting a bit of a push around here by the looks of things. Neo just going to spam through those walls, trying to catch them as they come into radio room. Roman is going to be the one maybe to break into through the squeaky door and into that upper site. Of course, the rest of Virtus are just setting up here on the outside as well, so we're going to see a multi-focused attack as those smokes go bouncing off the different areas of that outer garage, just trying to cover from window. And we could be seeing a push anytime now from Virtus.Pro as 2 of them actually go into garage, and maybe they will go down into lower site from this position. I mean, execute it once you've controlled that outer area, is it, and knowing that no one's there, is it easier to go down and go lower?
No, well, it's more like if you control the outer area, you're like crushing the CTs in, and the CTs are like confound to staying inside B1 or at the ramp. Well, but controlling outside at Nuke isn't actually that important area to control as terrorists. Many CT teams leave it open for a terrorist to take it. I am one that likes to keep the yard open for terrorists to take because it's so easy to pick up a counter terrorist at yard. And what have they gained? They have gained 0 ground almost, and it's much better to have the CTs where they can protect against a fast upper split or a fast ramp rush and just keep the CTs together. So that's why you see often terrorists around the garage area without meeting so much resistance, because the good teams leave it open for the terrorists to take.
There we go, then a push into this upper site as Lex manages to pick off Kuban. Lovely stuff from Kane as well with a Gleel. Grabs the second one and he's going to go for the bomb plant as Zeus just picked off Luck, who was at the top of ladder, and it's all going to be left again up to Neo, who starts his move back into this upper site. Roman going to go down, but Kane holds firm with that Colt, and that makes it 5-2 to Virtus.Pro. And they are well in the lead now. And you know, 5 rounds on T-side, do you think they'll be happy with that? Of course, there's still a long way to go in this, and you could say that any more rounds are going to be a bonus. When at least if at the start they would probably say, "Oh, we'll take 5 rounds." You think?
Yeah, well, of course, winning that eco round and still not only have more than 2 rounds on the board, it feels like it's Virtus.Pro that is controlling this game and MYM is struggling. But since they won that eco, they have still a lot of money, so they can buy again. So that's, you see how important it is to win these eco rounds. I mean, it never happens almost, and when it does, the team that does win the eco gains a huge advantage. But talking about keeping the yard, you saw previous round how Virtus.Pro split upper from outside, and that is the weak spot of leaving outside open, is that you can hit then the upper area from 3 different angles, the door, the hut, and outside. And when you do that, it's hard for people inside to hold and and avoid getting flashed from all those angles. So that is the weak point of not having the yard, is that the B1 split can be very effective.
Here we go then, a push on Virtus.Pro onto this ramp room as Neo goes down. Kuban and Luck both there. Edward is going to reply with 1 frag onto Luck. Kuban is still hanging around here, and it's actually a 1-on-3 now. Kuban, Lord, and Taz still remain for MYM. Lord down in the lower side, Taz on the upper. A squeaky door is open. Taz going to spam his way through the walls, is going to catch Edward. And that shall bring us back to 5-3. And this game's certainly going to be close, and MYM looking to get those rounds, put them together and get back into this game, get some momentum going, and they'll be looking basically to get this back to 10-5. Yeah,
and I mean, it's like, if you look at it right now, MYM is doing fine. I mean, they would have, since they won that eco round and then won the next weapon round here, they will have a lot of money, and the terrorists have to stay. This is just building up the momentum the CT needs to lock down the area. And that's what's happening right now, is that the CT is winning rounds in a row, building up money so they can buy. Even if they lose 1 round, they can buy again. And then for the terrorists, it's much more difficult to win 2 weapon rounds in a row than it is for CTs to defend 2 weapon rounds in a row. It's all about odds.
So we are going to see a very quick push here into that ramp room by Virtus.Pro as Kuban is shut down by Roman's headshot. And they are going to make now some room down towards the ramp. And Roman did spot someone going down there as Taz is going to grab one. Again, the kill's going to either side at the moment. Tit for tat, you could say. And it's actually Virtus.Pro who have that man advantage right now. MYM still set up quite nicely to defend this one. They have Neo on the lower side. Of course, they have Luck over ladder and Lord on that upper side. Now, from Lord's position there, obviously, he can rotate very quickly between the 2 sides, just hopping down vent, and is easily there in a position to actually cover that lower side. So, Virtus in a little bit of a tricky situation now. They need to decide exactly what they want to do with 50 seconds to go in this round. And it looks like they're going to slowly push their way down to lower via the garage and go for that area. Lovely shot comes out from Kane onto Neo, and that's that lower side a little bit less defended then as we go into a 4 versus 2. One drops down through the vents. Roman not quite able to connect with him as the bomb is going to be planted for Virtus.Pro. Luck and Lord are going to save out here, though. Of course, they know that this round is lost, and a 2-on-4 with the bomb down, just not going to happen for them, so they are going to go back into that T-spawn and keep a hold of those Colts.
Yeah, and as I said, when the CTs win some rounds in a row, they can afford to buy now. Even if they lose this round, they'll buy again. And then the terrorists have a hard task winning another round. And that is the point of CT. You need to build up a basics where you can afford to lose rounds.
So then, we come back to 6-4, and the Russians still lead. Don't forget, this is the match for first place in the group. We've talked about how it may not be quite as important to get first place, but there's still a lot of pride on the line, and it would still definitely be an upset if Virtus.Pro actually won this game over MYM. And now they try to gain another round as they start to make their way into lobby area. Grenade's going to come out through squeaky door there into that upper side as well. Virtus.Pro again, knowing that MYM now have money, are going to just slow things down once again, make it a little bit more tactical. There's Zeus going to pick off Lord for the first frag of the game. And again, it's going looking to be going the way of Virtus.Pro is this round. Kuban is going to bring two back there. Roman and Kane going to go down. So tides quickly changing in this match. Zeus actually only has 2 HP, which as soon as he runs anywhere, he's just going to get sprayed down. Should be no real difficult task for MYM to contain him. As you can see, they've got a very spread defense, and a defense that should be able to cope with a 3-man push to anywhere. But still, Virtus don't seem that committed. They haven't decided exactly where they're going to go or what they want to do, so they just sit waiting in lobby. Grenade's going to be thrown out into Hut, and they seem to be drifting over towards the ramp side at least. They are indeed going to go into ramp. As we said, Zeus with only 2 HP, surely going to fall quite quickly here as they make their way through. Neo going to pick off Zeus from the opposite side. Lex going to be taken out by Luck, who's actually sat down on the ramp there. Taz grabs the final frag, and that is going to be MYM coming back into this one, 6-5. Very close to tying it up now, Executor.
Yeah, and this is what's so important, is that when you have that platform of can lose a round and then still buy, is that the terrorists, if they start doing this, that they win 1 round and lose 1 round, and then suddenly lose 2 rounds in a row, they have to start ecoing, and then the whole money system will get in their disfavor. But it's actually, because it's actually harder to beat terrorists even with weapons. So, I mean, winning 2 weapon rounds in a row against 2 weapon rounds where CT has weapon rounds is harder than for the CTs.
Flash is going to go out, and Virtus are going to rush into this upper side. Taz and Lord are going to be there to defend. Lord does go down as Kuban is going to pick off Zeus in the process. Roman was there. He did find one, but Taz is going to take him out before he can do any more damage, and that will tie us up then at 6-all. And things very, very close here in this game to decide the group. Of course, the top place team in this group will go on to play a second place team in another group, which is of course the advantage of winning the group rather than just qualifying in second place. Lord and B start another round off perfectly here for MYM, and to be honest, they've been holding very, very nicely. Lord in particular on 13-7 right now has been doing very well. Of course, Luck, although he's on 3-5, did drop earlier in the match, so we can forgive him for now at least. But MYM coming back into this now, have the lead, and I think this is for the first time in the match that MYM have the lead here. And we'll see if they can continue to build on this, put themselves in a position where they're comfortable going into that second half with just two rounds remaining. Look, of course, the main AWPer for MYM just waiting here on the outside. Edward going to pick off Taz to start off the fragging for Virtus.Pro. Flash's smoke's going to come out from Lord as well, down into Hut, just to stop anyone pushing through there. But at the moment, Virtus are just setting up. Look, as I said, the AWPer from MYM set up on that outside area is going to pick off Kane. And this is one of the things, Executor, although Luck's just been taken down, that outside area is very, very open. And MYM know that Virtus have been sending people on the outside every single round. So when they can finally afford to buy an AWP after winning a few rounds in a row, they're obviously going to put that AWP out there just to pick them off as they come around. Yeah,
I mean, if the terrorist doesn't have an AWP and you get an AWP as CT and you know that they hit yard very often, the CT will have an advantage. So when you have a good AWPer in the team, of course you put him outside, and that's pretty standard.
I mean, how does that restrict a team like Virtus? They play the outside almost every round. Suddenly there's an AWP out there, they can't play the outside anymore.
Well, they played it and they got one. They traded one kill each. Down, right? Yeah, so that's acceptable actually when you play against an AWPer. If you get die for killing him, it's pretty okay.
So Virtus slowly edge their way down into this lower bomb site in the form of Zeus, who is the last one for Virtus as he goes for the bomb plant. Let's take a look at Lord and Neo. As you can see, they're both going to drop down vents here as Zeus is going to pop his way through those doors and back out to the edges. His positioning is not bad here. He needs to watch those vents. Lord's actually going to come in here behind him. Zeus going to shut him down. Neo's there as well. Neo picks up the frag and he's going to head his way down to the bomb and is going to get the defusing here. So that will be another round on the board for MYM. They guarantee themselves finishing in the lead after this first half, even though it may only be a slim one. The score at the moment is 8-6, and MYM will be looking for this 9th round for them, and just to feel a little bit more comfortable going into that T side.
Yeah, I mean, MYM knows that they don't really need to win pistol, you know, to get the win. It's not necessary, and that's always a comfortable thought. You get so much pressure on the pistol run if you're thinking like, we have to win this to be order to have a chance of winning the game.
So look then, in ramp room is going to back away after firing a shot. We're going to stay with him because I think he's going to go out here onto the outer side, which has been used by Virtus in the past here. Neo going to be shut down. Well, that's a big thing. Neo, of course, is one of the big ramp room men. He's been causing a bit of trouble for Virtus.Pro. Look continues to sit on that outer area, just watching and waiting for Virtus to make a move around there by the red box. And look, is going to take the shot. I think he connected there, but didn't get the frag. He's going to spot another one, and he's going to miss a second time, and that's not something we see very often from Look there. Those kills didn't come in. They are going to make a move. Look who's backed around into that ramp room. He's going to grab one and two. Can he grab a third here? He is going to be backed up by Taz, who is going to shut down Roman. Lex is going to push right around through the outside area, which is now going to leave him in a bit of trouble because that AWP surely is going to come around and try and pick him off. Let's try and find him. Actually, he's Look down. Yeah, Look died. I actually completely missed that one. As Edward now makes his way, picks up the bomb. You can see the body's littered there on the approach to that ramp room. And that's a strong point in the MYM defense. 8-6, of course, the score in this 2-on-2 situation between Lex and Edward. Kuban and Taz as the flash goes out into that upper site from Edward, and Virtus.Pro are on that upper side. Let's take a look where the CTs are. Kuban going to pop up here. Is he going to grab one? He's not. Edward going to shut him down. Taz kills the other one. A good old HLTV skips us right through it, so I'm just going to try and scoot up here. So yeah, MYM did that one, so that's 9-6 at half time. I love you, HLTV.
I'm here live on the server.
Rest not. New patch underway for Counter-Strike 1.6.
Oh, yay.
Hopefully that'll fix it. If not, it'll just break all your old demos. So fear not. Fix one problem, lose all your demos. No problem. So, Virtus.Pro 9-6 down at the half. Going to go into this second half now. And no messing around. They are going to go straight away into this second pistol round. And MYM, you could say taking it slowly. Not actually moving. I don't think this one's going to be live here.
This is going to be live. It's going to be live in 1 minute.
Virtus clearly think this is live, though. I mean, they are definitely playing this like a live pistol around there. It's going to be pretty embarrassing when they, in about 30 seconds, when the restart comes in for them. So Lex concentrating immensely here, and MYM
should have a shot to their faces when they go live now. No, it's too late. They're already live. He's been standing for 1 minute.
Pure concentration from Virtus. Flashes going down into Hut there as well. And you see, look, MYM actually going to start making a move. And Virtus must be thinking, well, I'm really not sure where this is coming in, and then the restarts come, and we're actually going to see the pistol around. So let's see how Virtus play this one. We saw their setup in that last round, and very concentrated. And that'll probably take just a little bit of energy away from, you know, concentrating and playing video games while concentrating that hard actually burns more calories than going for a run.
It is? You're okay.
Yeah, wow. It's true. It's true.
I didn't know that.
It is true. Scientifically proven. So, yeah, we do have Lex in his usual position, bobbing up and down in ramp room. He's going to spot one coming in there as he backs away. And MYM going to try and nade in here. And actually, that nade clipped the wall and just rested in the entry there to the ramp room. Oh, lovely shot from Edward there as he comes around. Neo going to go down. Still MYM trying to work their way around as the grenades go into ramp. And they do make their way down into that room as Taz is going to level the scores off with Lex going down. Kuban going to chase down Kane with the help of Taz there. And actually Roman is going to come up huge with 1, 2. Not the third though. Look did test Roman there, and after his two teammates died up ladder, that was quite a brave move. I mean, from Luck, you'd have thought he would have been watching that ladder to.
No, but he thought that either he reloaded or he was low on bullets. Either way, it was the right time to go up.
Well, Kuban is going to grab one here, and it's now a 2-on-1. MYM have the advantage. Edward is now just sat on that upper side, and by no means an easy task from this one. As MYM are going to move in on this upper round, and Kuban gets the last frag, and HLTV doesn't want us to see it.
We love HLTV. It's so fun to cast it.
Yeah, so that is going to be Kuban with the last frag, and of course MYM taking pistol here, which puts them 10-6 in the lead, needing just 6 rounds to take the victory. And one, of course, they will buy the odd AK and Galil here in this one. Virtus gone with Deagles spread around. Now, if you know your opponent on T side, of course, wins the pistol round, they've got more money than you, is it better to stack your defense in one place and hope for the best, do you think?
So it's, on Nuke, I'd say either you go rush outside with HEs and try to catch them off guard there, or you rush lob inside from the ramp and dropping down from the rafters and down to B1 and through the hut and try to catch them with the bars. Or you stack either upper or lower bomb site. One of those 4 alternatives is the popular anti-eco strats on Nuke.
So MYM slowly push their way around. They're not taking any chances in this one. They want that first place, and they're not going to give things up easily. Of course, we already know the qualifiers from the other groups, the final placings. This Group A and B are still being played, and this will be both of these teams' last games. And I believe we do have the winner bracket decided, just judging by the fact that the 2 teams sat to my right, who I'm not going to tell you who they are right now, will be playing next, and that's going to be a winner bracket round 1 game there, as Edward is going to pick off Neo. Taz coming in here as well. Lovely stuff from Virtus.Pro, as Lex is going to grab a frag, but MYM coming up strong, and it's now all up to Roman, who pops himself up vents. Somehow MYM not spotting him there. Kuban getting a couple of shots into his body, but Roman is going to be dispatched, and that will be 2-0, 11-6 for MYM.
Well, I mean, the winner of this group meets Fnatic, and the second place meets SK, I guess. So I guess either is okay. I mean,
SK or Fnatic, take your chances.
Yeah, take your chances for either team.
Here comes a big fast rush then from MYM onto this upper site, and no one there. It's like they're playing a local team here. And Virtus going to try and get themselves back in and around, just as we've seen from those local UAE teams. But this time MYM are going to stand firm. Neo, Luck and Kuban grabbing a kill each, but Virtus coming in here from the ladder side. And Lex is going to get the headshot onto Lord just as the bomb is planted. And Luck going to finish things off, and fairly easy around there for MYM. Just a fast rush straight through Squeaky Door and into that upper bomb site. Puts them 3-0 up.
MYM knows that CT is doing an eco, so rushing main, nading main, it's a standard anti-eco tactic for terrorists to do when they know that the CTs are saving themselves.
So then, this is going to be the first buy round for Virtus.Pro, and an important round for them. I mean, the score at the moment, 12-6. They're a good 6 rounds behind, which is, you can't really see where they're going to come from at the moment. As I say, that Roman and Edward both going to go to work here, and Kuban and Taz are going to be going straight out of the game. And Neo just going to push his way around the outside. Of course, Neo, one of the superstars of Counter-Strike 1.6, and has a lot of fans. He's one of the guys that you see a lot of forum threads being made of, and this is why, as Zeus and Kane both go down. Neo going to make his way into that bomb site. As MYM do lead here and are in control of that upper site. Neo just watching out. Bomb is going to be planted. Roman is going to finally take down Neo. And Roman is all of a sudden left with just himself and Lex to fight the day. Spamming through the walls there, hoping to catch someone just behind that Squeaky Door. It's not going to come off, and he's going to smoke that upper site out, and hoping that he can give him enough cover to get around. His teammate Lex is going to go down. Look from the hut. He's going to end this round, and that'll be 4-0 this half. And that will put them up to 13 rounds to 6.
And CTs have to buy Deagles now or save out totally. I mean, they can't afford real guns. They're going for Deagles. You should watch Lex.
Wise words from Executor here.
Lex's Deagle is maybe the best Deagle in the world, I promise you.
So Lex going to set up here then in ramp room. We're going to follow Executor's advice, and if he's wrong, then, well, I'm going to beat him again at racing tomorrow. There goes Kane, who shuts down Lord. Taz going to reply. So MYM going kill for kill here with Virtus at the moment. Neo and Luck both going to come in. And I am going to be racing Lex taken straight out of the game by Luck. I know we actually missed all of those fights due to our good friend HLTV. And Roman remains for Virtus, the last one. And it's 2 against 1. Still possible this round. It's surely a round that Virtus would love to get on the board. You know, being an eco and all that.
Well, what he does now is that either they will go for the upper or he will decide to just try to get a gun, I guess, and save out. Because if they get a bomb down at the downside and they're in a crossfire, you can't win that 1 or 2 with no kit, no armor, no nothing.
Yeah, Roman is going to pick up the AK there. Let's see if he tries to keep a hold on these bomb sites. The bomb is going to be planted on lower. Roman is going to take a peek down there. This is the problem with 2 left. They can just sit either side of him through the glass doors, and Roman really won't have any chance when he comes to try and defuse. He's going to put the glass through there and run away. Not going to be able to do anything in this situation. And Neo and Luck just going to check, make sure there's going to be no final ninja defuse coming in. And Roman is going to run his way back to that CT spawn and keep a hold of that AK that he picked up from the upper site. And that will put us at 5-0, which puts MYM on 14 rounds to 6. Now, at the moment, we see no real get-go from Virtus.Pro. They've not yet, they're still to get around on this CT side, and MYM playing things very slow and tactically, and they're completely outdoing Virtus on every opportunity.
Go Neo. Yeah, I mean, seriously, you should like see how they are playing right now. I mean, Neo is just, I think it's just all about Neo this service round. They were 3 versus 5. Neo opens up, getting 2 frags right back at them, making it a 3 versus 3, and then winning that round, leading the CTs that almost won that round to save again. And that is why you need a player like Neo. I mean, he's been huge this terror half.
Lovely spray through the wall then from Neo onto Kane. And I bet, Execute, I'm sure you've done that a few times in a game, just a random headshot through the wall. That must feel so good.
Yeah, that's so much fun because you just start shooting and then somebody dies. Always fun.
Shame you'll never get that feeling again, my friend. Maybe in a pub server. So again, Neo is going to pick off Lex there on the garage area, and we get skipped forward by HLTV again to the point where Neo is dead. Roman has killed Luck as well. Kuban with the last 2 frags of the game, and that puts MYM up on game point now, 15-6. And as we move into this last round, MYM just need the 1 from another 9 rounds, so they have 9 game points to work with, and surely they'll be able to convert in that one. The back-to-back ESWC champions want first place in this group. So let's have a look at this MYM push, and it's going to be a fast one here as they all go charging into the upper side, and then actually decide to do a U-turn and head back through. Taz somehow manages to come out on top of Edward and Lex there. Kane going to shut down Luck, and again MYM push heavily here as they jump straight around the corners. No messing around there from MYM. Lord grabbing a frag as well. Let's get around to Roman, who is 1 of 2 remaining here for Virtus. Cuban is going to go down, and Roman is going to head down into that lower bomb site. Bomb has been planted, of course. MYM on game point, and Roman can't just back away from this. He has to make it count. He has to pull the frag. Frags, all 3 of them. And of course then the bomb defuse, which is not going to be an easy task here. He does have Zeus for a bit of company. Zeus is going to grab one. Neo going to bring it down to a 2 versus 1. Zeus with that call is going to try and find Neo. Well, that bomb is going to tick away. The bomb is going to go off here any second. Zeus does get the frag onto Neo. But of course, the bomb is going to go off, and MYM are going to beat Virtus.Pro 16-6, and that will be MYM top of the group, and that should actually set us up quite nicely for the playoffs. If I just head around to ESL World, yeah, if you want to check these out, esl-world.net. Let's click on playoffs and see if they've been updated. No, they haven't. But we can see from the groups here, of course, MYM going to top that group, Virtus.Pro second. And again, got a feel for and then some, who lost both their games 16-14. And after being you know, up as well by quite a margin in both of those games, but they showing some real signs of promise, to be honest. They could be a force to be reckoned with. Of course, they beat MTW at Slap just last week, so some real promise in ATS.
A lot of bad luck, yeah. There's a lot of promise there at the end. But let's see here. We'll get MYM versus Fnatic, Virtus.Pro versus SK Gaming, Mouseburst versus MIBR, that will be showing here at stage right soon, I guess. And Gameplay versus MTW. So,
yeah, they will be the games then. So MYM finishing top. Will play Fnatic in the next one, which is a mouth-watering game, to say the least. SK against Virtus, which, again, Virtus can cause those upsets, I guess. Not quite going their way in that game against MYM, but they certainly can do it. And then Mouse Sports against MIBR, which will be our next game here on the stage. And then, of course, Gameplay against MTW. Actually, that game is a rematch of what we saw at the Extreme Masters in LA, and MTW lost that one and subsequently went out of the group stage, which was probably the biggest shock of the tournament, aside from Fnatic losing 16-1 to EG in the first round of the upper bracket, which was a little bit random, but they got their payback in Montreal for that, exactly. And they gave them a 16-1 in the upper bracket as well. So as we said, we are going to be bringing you next MIBR versus Mouse Sports. Now, what do you think to this game? Mouse Sports, for me, in this tournament so far, have been quite fantastic.
I think for Mouse Sports, it's important to win the pistol rounds, like they did when they won the Extreme Masters in March. They won every single pistol round in that tournament, and if they can do the same here, if they get both pistol rounds, Mouseport is good enough to capitalize on that and just get away with a win. But if they lose one of those pistol rounds, I would favor MIBR actually to win this game. But it all depends on map as well. If you get an AVP, heavily AVP friendly map, I'm rooting for MIBR. But I mean, we'll just have to see what kind of map they are going to choose.
Well, MIBR actually were asleep not so long ago. Of course, they flew straight in from Montreal and the seating area down there. I think all 5 of them, plus Kiku, was acting as their 6th, or the manager here. Well, they were all just passed out on the chairs getting a pre-match sleep. So hopefully they're feeling a little bit fresher as we go into this next game. So coming up after this short break here from the Intel Extreme Masters in Dubai will be Mouse Sports versus MIBR. First round of the playoffs. Stick around, guys. We'll be right back with that amazing game.